And welcome to a new episode of The Simpsons Did It. I'm your host, Steven Skolansky.
And I'm your co-host, Robert Skolansky. I almost forgot my name there for a second.
Yeah, is it because you're drunk?
It's possible, but don't drink and drive. That's bad.
Yeah, drinking and driving is bad, but it's also sometimes good for most people to get sober.
Yes.
And I feel like Homer is one of those people.
Yes. Yes, he is. Duff can't get enough of that wonderful Duff. Homer can't.
No, he can't. And this episode, as much as it really wasn't necessarily Homer's fault, he's gonna go Duffless.
Yep. So we're gonna enter season 4, episode 16, aptly titled Duffless.
Yeah, I mean,
because without Duff.
Yeah, without Duff. When you add the word less to a word, it means without.
So the air date is February 18th, 1993. So we're getting close. I think we have 6 episodes left for season 4.
I know, it's so close. So close we could taste it. But not like that wonderful Duff.
Nope. Recap. When Homer's arrested for a DUI, he uses the opportunity to find out what life is like without beer.
Well, yeah.
Horrible. It's horrible.
But that wasn't even Homer's decision. It was Marge making him have that opportunity.
But you need those people in your life to push you in the right direction.
Yes.
So the chalkboard gag this week. Goldfish don't bounce.
Yeah, he probably took... What was the name of the goldfish?
Goldie? I don't know.
No, remember what episode was that? Where
I remember it. I don't remember the name of it though.
Well, I guess technically, I guess Bart did kill him, so they're probably new goldfish. Yeah. But Bart, just like the yo-yo thing, Bart was like, "Hey, I wonder if these fish like trampolines." Nope, they don't.
No. Has your son tried to bounce fish yet, or is he aware that they don't bounce?
No, he's aware, and he knows they stay in the tank. They don't come out of the tank.
That's good. That's good. So we get as I mentioned last week, we are in a string of some couch gags that are repeats. This one is from Lisa the Beauty Queen. It's where the Simpsons run in, they run off the film, and then run back to sit on the couch.
Yep, but you liked that one way back when.
I did. I love that one because it's film related. Of course, I like it.
Yeah, so it was pretty good. Yeah. I'll take it. So we enter the science fair, but not really.
So, do you ever remember doing a science fair? Because I feel like I did one once, but I don't remember it.
Honestly, I don't recall. Like, I really don't recall actually doing a science fair growing up. I mean, maybe like in Jefferson. I think in Jefferson, because I feel like we emptied out the gym and we did all the displays and signs and stuff. But it was so long ago.
Yeah, I feel like I did it in middle school, maybe at McKinley, but never in high school.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm trying to think. I'm sure we did. I'm sure there had to have been some sort of science fair. But if I did, it was probably like Volcano. Like, because I love making, Volcano with baking soda and water. So that's possible. It's possible I did. And so we get Principal Skinner walking with Kerbopple. And he's like, well, and for a school with no Asian kids, I think we put a pretty darn good science fair.
Is that racist?
I don't think so. I mean, they're just saying
that's racist.
Well, I guess so. But Asians are pretty smart. We could all agree.
I mean, they're just like the rest of us. Just depends on what country they're in.
Yeah, I guess. So maybe a little bit. But
I don't think that line would fly in today's Simpsons. Or maybe it would. I don't know.
Yeah. But they get to Bart for his science fair project, and he has a go-go ray. Man, if Bart was actually smart enough to create a go-go ray.
Yeah.
But on the side of it, we got some dance moves. We got the jerk, the monkey, the mashed potato, the swim, and the Freddy.
So what is the jerk?
You. I mean, I guess I don't know the jerk.
Do you know the monkey?
Yeah, the monkey is the one where you do your hands up and down. And the Freddy.
Is that Freddie Mercury?
Freddie Mercury, maybe? I guess I don't know. But we see that Bart. Well, actually, so Bart starts shooting the teachers.
Yes.
You know, with the ray gun, which is really cool, and he shoots Skinner. He's like, "I'm disrupting the learning process, and I love it." So, but then we learn Bart's dreaming, and Lisa, he's like, oh, Skinner's like, and I'm gonna give Bart first prize. And then you learn Bart's dreaming, and Lisa's like whispering first prize, and Bart wakes up like, what are you doing?
Just screwing with your mind.
I like it. Bart, well, hey, Bart's good with messing with Skinner's mind. Lisa's messing with Bart's mind. So, it is what it is. So, Marge, then we go to the kitchen, and Marge tells Homer to encourage Lisa with her science fair project, which, to be fair, Lisa is the smart one. Which maybe you need to be encouraging Bart for his science fair project or Lisa, because Lisa's going to do it anyways. Yeah. And Homer just replies, yes, syrup is better than jelly.
Oh my God.
I don't know what science fair project Homer thinks
he wasn't listening.
Right.
He was eating pancakes with syrup.
Yes, absolutely. I guess I never put jelly on pancakes before.
Who puts jelly on pancakes?
I don't know.
Sociopaths, that's who.
Yep. But so Lisa comes in and she's like, I've grown a futuristic tomato by fertilizing it with anabolic steroids. And Bart's like, the kind that help our Olympic athletes reach new peaks of excellence? And Lily's like, the very same. I think this tomato could wipe out world hunger. Which, hey, we all know nowadays GMO products are bad. And so obviously in the 90s, it was kind of the thing for, growing products. And, people didn't realize how bad they were. And now we're starting to learn. And that's why Whole Foods exists.
Yes.
So Lisa imagines a family just eating the giant tomato, and it's such a picture of her like on a shrine.
Because she solved world hunger.
Yeah, she did with giant tomatoes.
Yep.
And
that's gross, by the way, because tomatoes are absolutely.
What are you talking about? I like tomatoes.
Ugh, tomatoes are disgusting. Ketchup is where it's at.
Yeah, Shay doesn't like tomatoes either, so you guys are in the same boat. So Bart's science fair project is investigating the effect of cigarette smoking on dogs. So we see Santa's little helper come in the kitchen coughing and smoking a cigarette. And Marge is like, Bart, don't give cigarettes to the dog. And it is kind of funny to think about, really, because I kind of looked at the Big Bang Theory episode where Amy is, doing science fair experiments with monkeys smoking cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And so I'm like, I don't know if anything's very good with giving animals cigarettes.
No.
Probably
Smoking
not.
cigarettes is bad for everyone.
Yep. And so Homer stands up for the breakfast table. Is like, well, time to go to work. Then Homer's brain is like, little do they know, I'm ducking out early to take the Duff Brewery tour. And Homer's like, roll in at 9, punch out at 5. That's the plan. Then Homer's brain is like, they don't suspect a thing. Well, off to the plan. And Homer says, then off to the Duff Brewery. And Homer's brain is like, uh-oh, did I say that? Or just think it? And Homer's like, I gotta think of a lie, fast. Homer, are you going to the Duff Brewery? And then runs out of the kitchen.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's such a Homer thing to do.
That's a great conversation. I said the loud thing soft and the soft thing loud.
Yep.
And so, the plant workers are walking in, out, end of the day to lunch. Where are they going?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then the guy has the shoe untied and bends over to untie it. And then he gets hit for tying his shoe.
Yes.
Because
they got to keep the line moving.
They do have to keep the line moving.
So wherever that line is going, it's got to keep moving.
Exactly. And so Homer has a map or something of the plant. Yeah. He's like, if ye wish to flee, head to sector 7B. And he goes, he kind of ducks around the corner like a ninja. Yeah. And then, moves out. And now he's underground trying to escape. It seems like it's underground.
No, he's not underground.
It looks underground. I mean, there's
cobwebs.
No, because obviously we learned he's not. But it seems like he's going through underground tunnels to escape this, which maybe he is, and then
Well,
has
you
to go
also
back
hear-
upstairs.
Well, you also hear jungle noises, which I thought was hilarious.
Yep, and then he gets to the spider, and Homer reading the map again is like, to overcome the spider's curse, simply quote a Bible verse. Thou shall not... Oh, this is stupid. And then just throws a rock at the spider.
And knocks it out.
Yep.
Knocks it out. Oh my god, that's amazing. I love that so much.
And then here's the best part. Homer jumps through an already broken window because someone has already tried to escape the power plant.
Yeah, well, I do like the fact that when he enters Sector 7B, there is a skeleton in there.
Yep.
Because somebody already tried. And as Steve pointed out, yes, Homer jumps out a window, and Barney is in his car down below with a mattress on top to cushion. I don't know how far of a drop that is from that window to Barney's car. And Barney's like, ooh, is that Princess Diana?
Yeah.
Princess Di? And it's actually a pile of rags.
Yep.
That he gets distracted by, and Homer misses the mattress and lands on the ground. Not getting hurt, though.
Nope. Well, we all know Homer could fall down Springfield Gorge and not get hurt.
Well, he got hurt.
He got hurt. Yeah.
So now we get our first Three Stooges moment. So Lisa forgot her math book. So they're at school. The day is over. Her and Bart walk out. Lisa tells Bart she forgot her math book. And so she asks Bart to hold her giant tomato. And then Bart says, sweetly, and then chuckles like Curly from the Three Stooges, which is great. It's a great reference. I love it. And so I don't know what it is with this episode and untied shoelaces, but Skinner walks out. He also has his shoelace untied. So he bends over in front of Bart with his butt wiggling in the air, and Bart just chucks the giant.
But Skinner's butt is wiggling but Skinner's butt's wiggling in the air because he's singing his shoelace tying song.
Yes. And the tomato explodes and goes everywhere. Now, there's also, I think there's something in one of the Simpsons game where there's something similar to this in the game where you throw tomatoes.
Oh.
So, there was a game that came out later in the year for the Simpsons in 93. So,
okay.
It's possible they threw it in development. So now, we cut to the Duff Brewery. Can't get enough of that wonderful Duff.
Yep.
I love that slogan. It's such a great slogan.
Yeah.
I love it. So, I love how they come in and there's a tour guide and he's talking about a rumor about strychnine getting into a batch of beer, which, if for those who don't know, strychnine is a strong poison. Basically, you're going to die if you drink it.
Yeah.
And which, so he's like, oh, well, if you heard the rumor about the strychnine, and the tour, the everybody taking the tour is like murmuring among themselves. They're like, they didn't hear the rumor. And the guy's like, it was covered on CNN and everything. And the tour group's still like, has no idea. And he's like, well, don't worry about it. The rumor isn't true. Then why did he mention it?
Because he wanted to see how popular Duff beer was? I don't know.
Like, why would you tell a tour group, oh yeah, unless it's a legal thing? That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, maybe just to say, hey, you know what? This happened. Yeah. It's over. It's done. Yeah. But yes, I like how he kept trying to convince them that it happened.
Also, when you enter the brewery, there's a clock, like one of those what is it called? Cuckoo clock?
Cuckoo clocks, yeah.
And there's a guy that's sitting on a chair drinking a Duff and burps on the hour.
Yep, that's pretty dope. That's pretty cool. I love, dude. I don't know if they've made that, but I would love that as a staple piece in my house.
That'd be kind of, I'm sure your wife would love it.
Yeah. Well, it would hang over all my Simpsons stuff, so it would be in my own area.
So now we get a couple posters. One says, Prohibition got you down? Drink Dr. Duff's Health Tonic, which was probably a way to get around the no alcohol thing.
Yep.
For Prohibition. And then poster 2, I knew he was a commie because he didn't drink Duff beer.
That's awesome.
Okay. I mean, sure. And then we get a 1950s Duff commercial where it shows like Duff being drinking and happiness in the belly. And
well, yeah. Well, I mean,
those
it's like
cartoony.
those. I never watched Mad Men, but it's almost like I've seen clips and pieces because my wife watched it. But
Yeah,
it's kind of like those old 1950s commercials where they're trying
yeah,
to, make like cigarette smoking, drinking, like all the
yeah.
technical quote unquote bad things for you to make them appealing to most people.
And in the second episode in a row, we get a Richard Nixon gag. We got a commercial from 1960.
Was it
where
really a commercial? It seemed more like a debate.
Well, it was a debate between Richard Nixon and JFK, and they stopped it so that JFK could pitch Duff beer, and then Nixon does the same, and
I
everybody
also
boos
too
him.
like to drink that brand of beer.
Boo! Because JFK was more popular than Nixon, and rightfully so. So now they enter a place where they store the beer. Also, brewery tours are amazing. If you've never taken one, do it. Because you get some.
Man,
some
why
places
didn't
give you
we
free
have
beers.
someone from? I could have got someone from Surly or Leinenkugels or something to be on this episode. Man, we are really
dropping the ball.
We're dropping the ball on these.
So we get 3 flavors of beer: Duff, Duff Light, and Duff Dry. And so, if anybody remembers when Disney first put The Simpsons on Disney Plus, they didn't do the ratio correctly.
Yes.
So this actually cut out the pipe that is above the 3 barrels, that it's one pipe going to 3 different barrels. So it's the same flavor of beer.
Yeah, they're just trying to say all the beer's the same. We just put different labels on it. But yeah, I mean, I remember when Disney.
Oh, I remember the outcry.
And this was like the joke. Like there were a lot of them, and we actually mentioned a few earlier on in our recordings. Yeah. But this one was the biggest one. The 16x9 cuts out the pipe filtering in all 3. So if you have never seen The Simpsons before, you'd think, oh, this is just 3 Duffs. But for everyone who's awesome that has seen it, we would notice that, yes, all the Duffs are the same. So
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
The guide says they have a plan for the future, and Homer asks, well, like what? And the guy says, well, we really don't have anything yet. Just like, yes, Homer, does that make you happy? And he's like, no.
Well, he says it more like, no.
He wanted to know what else they had.
Yeah.
And so we cut back home and Lisa's crying, about Bart ruining her tomato. And I just want to question, why was it even there? It wasn't science fair day or anything. She was just showing it off. I mean, I felt like she should have just kept this in her room.
Yeah, I agree. I don't unless like the teachers ask for an update on your project, and so she had to bring it in to show what was going on.
It's a giant tomato. What update do you need?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep. And then so I like how Marge's suggesting was just a hamster in a wheel, like putting a hamster in there. And Lisa's like, well, maybe. I guess that sounds good. That sounds like a good idea. And so kind of Lisa.
Marge suggested to put a hamster through a maze.
Oh, that's right. And then
Lisa thinks about it, and she puts Bart's face on the hamster, and she chuckles, and Marge is like, oh, what's so funny? Just a joke I heard on Herman's head.
Oh, that's right. And then so this is what I had. Okay, so when Lisa says, I was just thinking of a joke I saw on Herman's head, is a reference to Yardley Smith, the voice of Lisa, as one of the stars of that former comedy.
And I believe Hank Azaria was also part of that comedy.
Yep.
So
so kind of a cool pull for Lisa and to say, because she's Yardley Smith. So now we get the quality control guy. This is a great job. I don't know if they still do this. I guess they have a quality control guy, but I don't know if it's some dude that sits around watching the bottles go by.
They do. So the one brewery tour I took it wasn't Miller. I think it was one of the ones in Madison. They put it on like a conveyor belt to fill it. And if there's something wrong with the bottle, like they stop the line and they pull the bottle. So it's like all computer animated. It's computer automated now. And also in this instance, I would like to know how all these things got into these bottles.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to manufacture them with it in there. Maybe it's a horrible recycling plant or something.
I don't know.
But the quality control guy, he is looking at the bottles, and these are the things that he finds in the bottles: mice, rat, syringe, and nose. And so Barney comes up and says, "Oh, you're doing a great job." He's like, "Well, thanks." And the things he didn't find were dentures, a fish, a broken bottleneck, which, how do you get a broken bottleneck in a bottle of...
Well, because it breaks off and it falls in.
Yeah. And Adolf Hitler's head in a jar.
Also, I don't know if you actually watched the scene. It's not just any fish. It is a miniature Blinky.
Yeah, yes. That was a good pull.
Yes.
And so now we go to the tasting room, and Homer's eating some gummy beer.
Best part of the brewery tour, the tasting room.
Yes. And so inside the tasting room, we get Duff, Duff Light, Duff Dry, Raspberry Duff, Duff Dark, Tartar Control Duff, Lady Duff. So, and Barney is drinking out of the Duff Dark keg.
Yes.
So, I mean, that must be like the stout, the Duff Stout.
Yes.
Ooh, that'd be good. Do they have a Duff Stout at the at Moe's? Or is this regular Duff?
No, so at Universal, when I was there, they had Duff and Oktoberfest Duff.
Okay. No Duff Dark or Raspberry Duff?
Dark. No.
Lady Duff? No?
No.
That's sad. I think the next thing they need to do at Universal Studios is actually have a Duff brewery where they brew beer.
Oh, yeah, because I know they have Duff Brewery at Universal, but I think they just serve Duff. They don't brew anything. So, there you go.
Yeah.
Shatter your dreams.
I know, it's sad.
Also, how would gummy beer work? Because beer is very bitter by nature.
Yeah, I don't know. I know they do like vodka gummies.
Yes, those are delicious.
So I
guess... also very dangerous.
Yes. Yeah, don't eat too many of those. Those things could kill you.
Yes.
Just like gummy weed. Those things could kill you too. So Homer and Barney are leaving the Duff Brewery, and Homer doesn't want Barney to drive because he's drunk.
Yes,
clearly so. Because, well, look, he was drinking out of kegs, which I don't think is sanitary, and I'm sure they had cups available for them to test out of. And so Barney won't give Homer the keys, so Homer punches Barney. And Barney's like, "What'd you do that for?" Then Barney hits Barney with a crowbar, then finally shoves Barney's head in the door frame. So it's wag. He's like, "Ow, ow, 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 ow. Fine, here, take him."
Yeah, that was fantastic.
And so as they're pulling out, we see Chief Wiggum in a beer stein costume and radios ahead. I love how there's like 7 cop motorcycles.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't just one be necessary to pull someone over? They send a whole fleet after them?
Well, why wouldn't Eddie and Lou just be in their cop car?
Or that. I mean, I don't know.
Because as we see later on, because they do pull Homer and Barney over, it is Eddie and Lou.
Yep. So it wasn't even any of the cops that were on motorcycles.
Yeah.
That was so weird. And so we get the sobriety test. So Homer stands on one foot, touching his nose with his eyes closed. X, Y, Z. Now I know my ABCs. And then he hops on his other foot. Won't you come and play with me? And then he's like, flawless. We also would have accepted, tell me what you think of me. Which I've never heard that at the end.
I've never heard of that one either.
But Homer, is about to pass the test when Barney says, give him the breathalyzer. Which, man, come on. If you have a friend drive with you a brewery, you don't pull that crap.
No. Well, here's the...
What are you, drunk?
Maybe. So here's the thing. I'm drunk on pizza. So here's the thing. If he passes that usually I feel like they would give him the breathalyzer first, and then they would double check with the field sobriety test. He clearly isn't drunk.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So my theory on this is either the breathalyzer is broken, or he blew a .08, and even at .08, you might not feel drunk.
Now, is that the national, or is that a state for your Wisconsin?
Wisconsin is .08. I don't know I know that's for like Class C license because I have a friend who had a Class A because he was a semi-truck driver. For them, it's 0.04. So it's basically a beer.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, do you really want semi-drivers driving drunk on the road?
Well, no, but...
So, and that's for Class A. So,
I mean,
I don't know.
Homer, you can't say Homer didn't have... I mean, he obviously had beer gummies.
But those can't be potent.
No. But you have to imagine Homer is an alcoholic. He'd have to have at least one or two. Either that or Barney was like, "You're designated." Well, Barney wanted to drive, so I don't know who was designated driver or.
Yeah, we also didn't see Homer drink anything again.
We didn't. That's the thing.
Like, that's not to say he didn't drink anything, but clearly he is sober. So I think the cops screwed him with the breathalyzer.
Yep. And so Wiggum asks Barney if he can drive home, and Barney replies, "Sure thing, giant beer," and proceeds to back up the car into Wiggum, knocking him into a hill where Wiggum rolls down it. Which, would the handle stop you, though?
Yes, okay. It would. Also, I love the fact that as he's rolling down the hill, he's like, "Oh, this sucks," and then like halfway down, he's like, "Oh, this is actually really fun." Whee!
And then his costume explodes into the tree.
Why?
One, for fun, and two, maybe Wiggum had a grenade on his belt, his utility belt.
So he's dead?
Yes, he is.
He's not.
Well, look, Hans Moleman fell off the cliff last episode. Was it last episode? 2 episodes ago.
No, that was the one where Homer nudged him off the road.
Yes,
because he thought there was something wrong with his car.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
No, that was a Halloween episode.
No, I'm talking about the one where he's driving the semi truck. Remember when he has anger issues? That was Selma's Choice, right?
Maybe.
Remember the Edgar Allan Poe house, and he knocks.
No, that was because
that was the heart attack. That was the heart attack episode.
Yes.
So a few weeks ago.
So yeah, he should be dead. Hans Moleman, that is. So who knows? So we cut back to the police station. Wiggum calls Marge to tell Homer that he was arrested and he was found DOA, which for anybody who doesn't know that acronym, it's dead on arrival. And Marge is like, "Oh my God, what?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'm sorry. I meant DWI," which in the state of Wisconsin, it used to be DWI. They've now changed it to DUI. DWI is driving while intoxicated. So driving under the influence is now what it's referred to here in Wisconsin. I don't know about anywhere else.
I don't understand what the difference is. They're both driving drunk. Unless DUI is more now because you could smoke weed, so driving under the influence is a lot of things.
Yeah, I think they changed it to it might be a legal thing too. I don't know. I remember when it happened and they gave an answer, and I don't remember the answer because that was like 10 years ago. So then, Wiggum hangs up the phone.
But that could mean a lot of things. Under the influence of drugs, under the influence of alcohol, under the influence of love. Like maybe you were driving erratic because you were under the influence of love. Like you're trying to get to the mall to see your sweetheart and you were driving erratically.
I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on from that. Ladies and gentlemen, just ignore whatever he just said. So Wiggum hangs up the phone and some woman comes in, Mrs. Phillips, and she's like, she told Wiggum that Wiggum told her that her husband was DWI, and this is where Wiggum realizes it was a mistake, DOA, and Wiggum's like, "Well, that guy over there can help you. I gotta go to lunch," and he runs away. There's a lot of running away in this episode.
Oh, that was funny.
So now
not really, because her husband's dead.
Well, yeah. Well, no, Wiggum ran away.
Yeah.
So now we cut to the jail cell, and Lionel Hutz is telling Homer about how he's going to get him out of jail, and so many surprise witnesses. And then he's like, "Oh, the judge won't know what hit him," and Lionel Hutz gets hit in the hand by a baton, and we realize Lionel Hutz is also in jail.
Probably rightfully so.
For driving over Judge Snyder's dog.
Yeah.
Again. So now we cut to the courtroom, and we have a lady judge this time. No Judge Snyder.
Yep.
So I think this might be one of the very few appearances where we don't get a Judge Snyder.
Yeah, probably. He's probably not the standard judge yet.
Yeah. So the judge is telling Homer, his license has been revoked. He has to go to traffic school, and he has to attend 2 months of Alcohol Anon, which is AA basically. And so I actually paused it because they cut to I think it was Selma.
Well, remember, Homer also says, "Can I get that stricken from the record?"
Yeah.
Nope,
Yeah.
Homer, you cannot get that stricken from the record.
So we cut to the next scene where Patty is voiding Homer's driver's license, and I was able to pause it. So Homer was born May 12th, 1956. He has blue eyes, weighs 240 pounds. He's 6 feet tall with no hair. He lives at 742 Evergreen Terrace, Springfield, NT.
Nantucket? I bet it's Nantucket.
Area code 49007, or zip code, sorry. That zip code is a real zip code for Kalamazoo County in Michigan.
Ah.
So I don't know what NT is.
Nantucket.
Yeah. His driver's license also expires in 96.
So that would mean that there's 3 more years left of The Simpsons.
Yes.
Simpsons end when his driver's license expires. No, it doesn't. But it would be kind of funny to see in 1996 if he actually got his license renewed.
Yeah. Also, in the episode Simpson and Delilah, his driver's license said he was born in 55.
Yep.
I also like his driver's license photo because he appears drunk in it.
Yeah.
Or maybe is he just tired? And that's why he appears drunk?
No, it looks pretty drunk. But so which driver's license is correct? Or did he get his... So what I wanted to do is I couldn't do it, was go back to our notes for Simpson and Delilah. And because I'm guessing if I wrote down his birthday year was 1955, we must have got the rest of the license.
Maybe.
And I was hoping to kind of confirm one way or the other whether any of the other information was correct. His weight, hair, address, stuff like that. To see like how close, like maybe it was like an animator thing or what it was that kind of went in, because I mean the year of his birthday, that's pretty, because how old does that make him now? It makes him
40. No, it would make him 37.
Is that a 38? Because
yes.
Right? Because 55, I think we did say he was 38. And a lot of other episodes, I think they say he's 38.
Yes. So, or maybe somebody just screwed up. Or maybe I read it wrong.
No. You did write it right. It was 56 on the episode. It was just in 1950, in the Homer and Delilah episode when he's filling out his insurance forms. It was 55.
Anyway. So now we cut to the mall and we get Lisa going to all creatures great and cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, she's a kid. So she goes up to the clerk, who is the snarky old man, and she goes, "Give me the most intelligent hamster you got." And he just pulls one out of a bunch, says, "This one wrote a novel." Well, how did it write a novel?
Well, he was like, what was it? I have it here. I do have it. She's like, okay, this little guy writes mysteries under the name J.D. McGregor.
But how does the hamster write the novel?
On a typewriter. Monkeys can write on a typewriter.
They have thumbs. They have opposable thumbs. Hamsters do not.
Yeah.
So now we cut back to The Simpsons, and Marge is wishing Homer a good day at work. And it looks like he's in his car, but he's really not. He's on Lisa's bike, and he has to bike to work. And Nelson pulls up alongside him on his bike, and he goes, "Ha ha."
Yeah.
Which is great.
That was pretty good.
And so now we cut back up to Lisa's room, and we find out her new science project is to determine if Bart is smarter than a hamster. Spoiler alert, nope.
Bart is not smarter than a hamster at all.
Well, he is a male Simpson, so.
Yeah. So I like how Lisa makes a replica of the living room for the hamster to get food. It's a pretty good mold recreation. Yeah. So Lisa puts a piece of like hamster food on top of the bookcase, and the hamster's smart enough to push the couch over to the bookshelf to climb up on it and get it. So Lisa tries the same thing with the cupcake. He's like, "Stupid books." Yeah, he's like, "Stupid bookcase." And then he looks up, "Oh, a cupcake." And so he starts climbing the bookcase, which, to be fair, as a 10-year-old, I might have tried that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's dumb, but I'm like, ooh.
Well, the other thing too is, so if there's a lot of books on there, because Bert grabs the cupcake and the bookcase falls over on top of him.
Yep.
Is that? I mean, Bert can't weigh more than 40 pounds.
10 years old. Let's see. My kid's almost 40, weighs 40. No. He'd have to weigh more than that.
Like 70, maybe
70, 80, maybe.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, I think that's enough to tip it.
Yeah.
And then after it falls over, Bart's crushed, and Maggie comes up to grab the cupcake because hey, good for Maggie.
Yeah.
Once again, though,
cupcake.
But who's watching Maggie? Who's letting the baby wander around? Lisa does another episode where Maggie's just wandering around aimlessly.
Lisa and Bart are watching Maggie.
Oh, right. No, Bart wandered in from literally somewhere.
So Lisa's watching Maggie.
Lisa's behind a couch watching to see how Bart screws up.
Or Maggie's a smart baby. She knows what she's doing.
Right. So now Lisa is testing, attaching food to a mild electric current. And
the hamster
gets shocked and learns a valuable lesson. Yep. And Bart goes into the kitchen and sees a cupcake obviously hooked up to a battery. Obviously. And
well, there's also a place card on the table that says "Do not touch."
Yes. And so now we get our second Three Stooges moment where Bart tries to grab the cupcake. He's like, "Wise guy, eh?" And does the hands on the face patty thing, and then it's like, "Ow, ow, ow, ow." And it's like, God, at that point, if I was Lisa, I'd be like, "Man, I feel really sorry for my brother or something."
Yeah.
Because that's just crazy.
Yep.
And so now we cut to traffic school, and Wiggum says, if anyone is thinking of drinking and driving, this film will scare the pants off them. And the film starts, and Wiggum's in a kiddie pool drinking a Duff and eating a hot dog. Very similar to Homer in his pool eating a hot dog. And a woman screams, which, hey, man, hey, Quimby's did say that this will scare the pants off of him. And then he's like, was it Lou or Eddie? You put in the wrong film. Why is this on a 8mm film anyway?
Why did he unless he taped over part of the traffic school video?
Maybe. And so he's like, wait a minute. I know this part. And then he's like, this is great. And Clancy sprays his wife with the hose.
First appearance of Sarah Wiggum.
Yep. And so,
in a throwaway gag.
Yeah. And so now we get an actual traffic film by Troy McClure. Hi, I'm actor Troy McClure. You might remember me from such driver's ed films as Alice's Adventure Through the Windshield Glass. Yep. Through the Looking Glass is what it's supposed to be. And the Decapitation of Larry Leadfoot.
Oh my God. So I'm assuming with the decapitation of Larry Leadfoot is he's tried to speed underneath a semi?
Apparently.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I don't think but then now they're showing all the car crash victims, which I'm assuming were, drunk driving accidents. Yeah. I'm assuming that's kind of what they were trying to do.
Or just bad driving.
Bad driving. And the car crash victim footage was with funny music. And so we kind of yep. And then we pan through the class and we actually get a shot of Ruth Powers.
Yes.
In the class. Because, we don't learn how bad girl she is quite yet. Nope. Well, kind of, because the whole Bonnie and Clyde thing with, Marge. So we kind of do. Yeah. And then one guy throws up in his mouth and swallows it.
Gross.
Ugh. And then Homer's sitting there laughing at the funny videos because he doesn't know them.
It's funny because I don't know these people.
Yep. Hey, it makes sense. And so, after when it's over, Homer now goes to his first church, goes to church for his first AA meeting.
I love the fact that Jasper comes in next, and Reverend Lovejoy is like, "Oh, are you here for the senility class?" He's like, "No, I'm here for blah 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 blah." Wait. Yeah, senility.
Senility, yeah.
Wouldn't you need to go to a hospital if you're senile?
Maybe.
Not the church.
Yeah. And so Ned's in the AA meeting, which obviously is a churchgoer, and he had his blackberry schnapps, and he hadn't taken a drink in 4,000 days, which equates to 10 years and 11 months. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But his first and last ever drink was blackberry schnapps.
Dude, blackberry schnapps is delicious.
And I was like in bed. We cut to him and Maud in bed. He's like, "Have you read the new Landers? Landers is a boring old biddy." Good on Ned. Yeah. Good on Ned.
Yeah. So now we get Otto, and he introduces himself. "My name is Otto, and I love to get blotto." I love that line. Fantastic.
Yep.
So good. And then we get Hans Man, and he's like, "Drinking ruined my life. I'm 31 years old."
Yeah.
But in other episodes, like, don't they say he's like 70 or 80?
See, I don't know. And do you remember what his age was on what was it? The Stampy license. What was it?
I don't remember.
Was that Selma's Choice, right?
Yeah. No, it's not Selma's Choice.
Yeah, remember when she was trying to do the dating thing and she dates Hans Man? Yeah. And we do get a look at his
I don't remember
driver's license. Why don't we continue on, and I will see if I can pull up the notes on that.
So then Homer introduces himself, and he says he's only here because the court made him come.
Yeah.
Which, I mean... so then Reverend Lovejoy is like, "Well, with our help, Homer, you'll never drink again." And we get a second Homer scream, and he jumps out yet another window.
Now that one I at least think was either on the bottom floor or...
Well, the church is like... I don't think the church is more than one floor. So...
Yeah, so it was on the bottom floor. So at least he doesn't die in this one.
Yeah. So then we cut to Marge reading a pamphlet, and the pamphlet says, "Is your spouse a souse?"
Yeah, that's a good pamphlet. So just to cut back to Hans Moleman, there actually was no birth date on his driver's license. It was just his address, height, hair, all that stuff. Yeah. So no actual. So we don't actually know how old he is right at this point. Well, we kind of do 31, but we don't actually have a real driver's license with his name on it.
So then Marge is like, "Homer, do you like to drink alone? Does the Lord count as a person?" "No, Homer. So if you're drinking alone, you're drinking alone because the Lord does not count as a person." And then she's like, "Homer, do you need beer to fall asleep?" "Oh, thanks, honey." Do you hide beer around the house?" And he takes off the lid to the water tank of the toilet, and there's a couple beers floating in there. And then she's like, "Homer, do you need to drink to escape reality?" And he goes to the mirror and he does the pecs flex. He looks he looks like he's a strong man. So then Marge pleads with Homer to give up beer for a month. And he's like, "All right, Marge, you've got it. No deer for a month."
All right, Robert, hold on. I need to ask you these questions. Do you drink alone?
Yes.
Okay. Do you need a beer to fall asleep?
No.
Oh, you don't? I sometimes do. Beer does make me a little sleepy, though. Do you hide beer in your water tank in your toilet?
No, I do not.
I mean, if you're going to hide beer around the house, though, you kind of have to make sure it's in a cold location, which...
Yeah, that's not going to be cold in there.
Yeah, I don't think so. And do you drink to escape reality?
Always.
Okay, cool. So you're slightly an alcoholic.
Yeah, slightly. I'm also from Wisconsin.
Right, so that gives you a pass.
Yes.
Okay.
So Homer finally agrees. He's like, "All right, no beer for a month." And so Marge turns out the lights, and we get Homer cracking open a beer before going to bed. He's like, "What? I'll start tomorrow."
Yeah, he did say, "I will start tomorrow."
Yeah. And so now we cut to the next day, and I'm assuming it's dinner time. And Marge asks Bart to go get cupcakes, and he starts freaking out about the cupcakes, and he falls to the floor in the fetal position because he's been tortured by cupcakes.
Yes, cupcakes are dangerous. Can't eat, cupcakes will zap me. Can't eat, cupcakes will zap me.
So I did read somewhere that scene is a reference to A Clockwork Orange.
Oh.
Where he tries to grab the cupcakes.
You know, I think I kind of remember that, but I'm not 100%.
It's when, Alex DeLarge is going through his reprogramming, and he's like grabbing at a woman, and he can't do it.
Yeah, that's gotta be it, yeah.
Okay. So then, Homer comes in, grabs a 6-pack out of the fridge, and starts dumping the beer down the drain, and we get the very good beer song, which Homer sings, and it's a parody of Frank Sinatra's It Was a Very Good Year.
Yeah, it's a classic Homer song right here.
Yeah, when I was 17, I drank some very good beer. I purchased with a fake ID. My name was Brian McGee. I stayed up listening to Queen when I was 17. Now, here's the thing about him saying him listening to Queen. There is a poster while he's singing on the wall from a Night at the Opera album, which was released in November 21st, 1975. So if the license in the episode is correct, he would have been 19.
Yep. And even with the mistake of the driver's licenses,
yeah,
they both don't work.
Yeah, because the other one would have been 18.
Yep.
So I think the writers just wanted to throw Queen in there somewhere, and they're like,
what do we use to rhyme Brian McGee to music? Queen.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, no, they rhymed Queen in 17.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anything...
But they could have done 19. 19 works.
Yeah, they would have. They just need to get math better.
Yes.
And so Bart's like walking around and he finds Lisa's science journal. He's like, uh-oh. Oh, so he sits in Bart's chair, like the James Bond, Dr. No, painting, petting the hamster.
Yes.
And he's like, you'll need to find a series of clues to find your journal. Found it.
Well, come on, it's Bart. Lisa knows Bart.
Yep. And so now we finally cut to the science fair. I mean, we've been waiting this whole episode for this damn science fair, man.
Yeah.
And so Milhouse does the science fair project on gravity. And dude, it should have been good. I mean, the slinky going down the board. Now, I've had my trouble with slinkies. They don't like going downstairs, boards, pretty much anything.
That's because you got to put the slinky at the edge of the stairs.
Right.
That's why it doesn't work on the board, because there's no forward motion. Plus, this slinky is probably a piece of crap because it's Milhouse.
Yeah, it's not one of those good slinkies.
Yeah.
I think the metal ones did work better than the plastic ones.
Yes,
though.
The metal ones definitely, because there's more heft to them.
Yep, exactly. And so Martin is dressed up as Phileas Fogg, the main character from Jules Verne, from Around the World in 80 Days for his science fair project. And Martin, once again, above and beyond, going to complete lengths. And I like how Nelson shoots out Martin's hot air balloon with a BB gun. So from his booth for science fair, wasting squirrels with BB guns.
The funny thing is, he was like, oh man, I was aiming for his face. Now, the other thing you skipped over was we cut to a table where there's a dad and his son with a volcano, and the dad's like, I spent all this time building this. I'm not going to let you waste it. And honestly, it is kind of great commentary on helicopter parenting.
Yes, and well, it's either helicopter parenting or that's more helicopter parenting.
Yeah.
But there's also the ones where the kid tells the parent that he has a day to complete a science fair project, so the parent has to help him build it anyway.
Yeah. I think in this scenario, it was more of the helicopter parent and not the I have a day to do this thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because he's like, go sit over there. Stop looking at me.
Yep. Yeah, because he wants his kid to get an A, or he thinks could be good at it, I guess.
I don't know.
And so Homer's there walking around. Obviously, he's there to support his kids for the science fair.
Yep.
And he finds an alcohol-fueled car. And he's like, that's a good idea.
Well, he's like, don't think about beer. Don't think about beer.
He's like, and he's at a gas station with his car. And he's like, Homer thinks about it, and like his thing is gasohol.
Yes.
Which gasoline is made of alcohol, so but not good enough alcohol for you to drink. He's like, one for you, one for me. One for you, one for me. Which you might not want to do that, because that'll charge you more money, because the beer's going in you and your car.
Yes.
It's probably cheaper to just go to the liquor store and buy a 6-pack.
Yep.
And so Marge is actually skeptical about Lisa's science fair project because, it's kind of degrading Bart. And Lisa tells Marge it's all for science. But she says in her head it'll teach Bart a bus for busting her tomato.
Yep. It was revenge. It's always revenge.
Yep. But we don't even get to Lisa's science fair project because Bart went to go buy a smart hamster. But Did he buy a smart hamster, or did he just take Lisa's? I don't know. Did Lisa have the hamster at her booth?
No.
Then apparently Bart stole her hamster, I guess.
Yeah.
And he puts it in a plane to answer the age-old question, can hamsters fly a plane?
I'm going to go with no.
No, they can't. But because it's so cute and cuddly and everyone's like, oh, this is the best, they give Bart gets first prize.
I love how like Lisa's like, this has nothing to do with
There's
science.
no scientific merit to this. And the people around her are like grumbling, like, oh, it's so cute. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And so now we cut back to the Simpson house where Homer's crossing off dates. And Homer's Duff calendar has, 30 days to go without Duff. And this episode was released in 93. And the month that starts on a Tuesday. So with 30 days, it's a June calendar for 93.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I looked it up. I'm like, okay, is there a month in 93 with 30 days that starts on a Tuesday? And it is June.
So this is 4 months after the last episode then.
Correct. And also, so the other thing too is, so he crosses out June 30th. Now, I don't know how many schools last into June, like late June like that.
Not many.
So like my first thought was, well, maybe the science fair project was like that second week of June and then they just skipped over 2 weeks.
I mean, that's possible too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely possible. I mean, time skipping in The Simpsons is definitely
yes.
something that can happen. But I like how his X's, as it goes on, get like stragglier and stragglier.
Well, it's because he's detoxing.
Exactly. So then we get the McMahon and Tate advertising on TV for beer, which is a reference to Bewitched.
Yep. And so then we get a commercial. This is all a commercial. And like women are like protesting and guys in a Duff truck like pour beer on them and they turn into sexy chicks. And honestly, this is a really sexist commercial.
But that's how beer commercials were forever.
I know. Well,
chicks in bikinis, chicks in pools, chicks dancing on yachts. Yeah, I haven't seen
sex
a beer.
sells.
Yes, sex sells. That's exactly right.
But yes, I've not seen. I think that's good. Unless I think that's good that we're not degrading anybody in commercials like that. We've come a long way as a society.
No,
so that now we cut to well, we haven't.
Yeah.
So Homer decides to go to a baseball game with Barney, and Homer's like, I just realized how boring baseball is without beer.
Do you agree with that statement?
Baseball is fun. Baseball is fun going to a game if you're with people.
But they were going to a game though. They were at a game.
That's fair. So we.
But I do drink at baseball games, and not because I think it'll make baseball interesting. But I like how it was like, and the guy called timeout at the plate to fix his glove, which that is true.
So then we find out that Homer lost weight and saved a lot of money, and he attends a Tupperware party hosted by Selma and Patty at the house. Because, I mean, he's bored. He's got to find something to do.
Yo.
And I love the fact that Selma is showing off like 128-ounce Tupperware. And she's like, it's so big you can fit your head in it. And she puts her head in it, turns to Jub Jub, and scares the crap out of Jub Jub.
Why was Jub Jub even there?
Because she can't leave Jub Jub at home.
Why not? Oh, dude, iguanas half the time they're just sleeping on their log anyway.
Yeah, and so as this is going on, Homer goes, I would kill everyone in this room for a drop of beer. I mean, I would too at that point.
Yep.
And so we go back to AA, and Reverend Lovejoy asks Homer to share and says, there is no judgment here, because everybody's sharing. And Homer's like, he's like, I was so broke. Oh, he says he broke into a football stadium and ate dirt underneath the bleachers, and everybody's like hissing at him, and Lovejoy casts him out of the
I cast thee out.
Apparently
that's a new low.
Yeah, he got really low, and so now he's driving. He's like, don't think about beer.
Well, not driving. He's on Lisa's bike still.
Oh, you're right. And he's like, and then he passes by a billboard that says Duff beer. You know you want it.
Yep.
And then Homer is stopped by a train that is just a Duff train. And it's like, it was like
chug-a-lugga, like you're drinking beer.
And so then as Homer bikes away, he like hits a Duff can, falls over. We see the Duff blimp. It says surrender to Duff, and it drops just a bunch of bottles to the ground.
Was that in his imagination, or was it actually doing that?
I have no idea. I mean, who knows what you do when you haven't drunk for a while and you're an alcoholic.
Yeah, I don't know. The scene was weird. I mean, it was funny, but I don't know if it was his imagination or not.
Yeah. So now we find out that Homer has made it 30 days. And so he tells Marge, send the kids to the neighbors. I'm coming back loaded.
Yeah.
Because he wants to drink. He's really thirsty.
He made it. He made it 30 days.
And Marge is like, well, why do you have to go right now? Why don't we go for a bike ride? And Homer's like, well, the barflies are waiting for me. Like Mo, Barney, and that guy that calls me Bill.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was really funny. Well, I guess you'll get it to the next in a few minutes, but it's really weird that Homer's like, oh, the guys are waiting for me. But then you learn they really weren't waiting for him. No. I mean...
And so Marge says Homer doesn't sweat when he eats anymore. And she's like, oh, you saved like $100, which I found in your pockets. And Homer runs over and grabs the money and goes, yoink. I think that's where I picked that up from, because I like to say yoink.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be fair, yeah, you lose weight, you save money, you're not drinking all the time. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they need that extra money. I mean, Marge could have been like, hey, remember that time we actually needed money? Look what not drinking did. It allowed us to have some extra money.
Well, to be fair, as we'll find out, I don't think he actually spent that $100.
No, he doesn't. Because when he gets to the bar, well, first of all, he goes in the bar and everyone's like, arr, and Moe's like, oh, look who decided to show up. It's like, bar, pour me a beer. Oh, welcome back. But then we notice at the bar, we have two Larrys at the bar. Yeah. One at the far end sitting on a seat, one closer to Barney.
It was weird.
Like, did the animators not realize they drew him a couple times, or
I don't know.
They just need more patrons, or what? But he's like, but I like how Homer orders the beer and the like, sad face, or Barney's like, but Mo, just yesterday you were saying that. It's like, shut up, Barney.
He's like, yesterday you called Homer a worthless sack of, and then Mo slaps Barney in the face.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that was awesome. And so Mo yells at Homer because Homer's like, I think put this in the fridge, Mo. I have a date with my wife. And then Mo's like, you'll be back, and so will you, and you, and you. And we think he's breaking remember how we talked about breaking the fourth wall? And
yes,
like it was a few episodes, maybe a season ago, we talked about that. And maybe. Like we were like, oh, it was God, I can't remember who it was with, but yeah, he's pointing at us. It's like kind of breaking the fourth wall. It's like, but he points. If he's actually pointing at Bart, he's like, Mo, if you didn't close, I'd never leave. And so we end the episode with Homer riding on a bike with Marge, sitting on the handlebars, and they're singing B.J. Thomas's "Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head." And this is actually a movie moment. So yes, at the end of the episode, while Homer's doing that, it's in reference to a takeoff of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
And then over the credits, we get an instrumental version of "Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head."
Yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah.
Marge and Homer are happy. Homer's Duffless for a month, and he'll get back into the rhythm of that next episode.
Probably.
So yeah, for this episode, really, I mean, it's not a 5 for me. I like it. Homer not being drunk is slightly funny. I mean, jokes are there and good. Bart's, the B story of Bart and the science fair. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, not necessarily the best. I think 3 Don't Have a Cowman is kind of where I'm leaning on this one. I mean, the Duff Brewery stuff is funny. It's, I wish they would have done it more as a Willy Wonka Duff Brewery tour.
Well, don't they do an episode like that anyways?
Or was that? No, that was a Family Guy that did that.
Oh.
So it could have had a little bit more comedy to it. Yeah, maybe. Not definitely not my favorite. Not a worse one. I mean, I don't think it's a 1 or a 2 by any stretch.
No,
but
no.
I'm gonna go 3 Don't Have a Cowman on this one.
I enjoy this episode. It starts out really strong with, Bart dreaming about the science fair and Homer, running to the brewery. The jokes hit really well. It's a solid episode. I would honestly go with a 4 sprinkles. It's definitely one of those where I would definitely, if it was on, I definitely would watch it. But it's not to that level as, I'm going to go seek it out kind of thing. So it's a really good episode. It gives me the yoink. We get to learn a little bit more about Homer and his license, and what happens when he doesn't drink beer. It's definitely good. There's some good commentary in this episode as well, with the science fair and Homer not drinking, and maybe not drinking as much. So yeah, I'm gonna go with a 4 sprinkles.
All right, sounds good. And let's finish it off with our character profile of the Chief of Police, Chief Wiggum.
Yes.
His full name is Clancy Wiggum. Clancy! He's the father of Ralph Wiggum. His position, Chief of Police of Springfield. His physique, rotund.
Yes.
He's a big guy.
Yes.
Big guy, likes his donuts and frosty milkshakes.
Yes.
His personally handles all calls involving donut shops, ice cream parlors, and food processing plants. And all the other cops take care of the rest of it.
Yes.
His prime nemesis is Mayor Quimby. His morals and ethics are few.
Correct.
Yeah. He has no morals or ethics.
Nope.
His intellectual level, common sense challenged, and mixes up police terms such as DOA and DWI.
Oh boy, that chief, he's got it coming.
Yep.
Got it coming.
My favorite scene for morals and ethics though is, do not be alarmed, continue swimming naked. Aw, come on, continue. Come on. Aw, all right. Lou, open fire.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a police helicopter, But anyway, let's tell all the fine folks where you can find us. Head over to Facebook, The Simpsons Did It Podcast. And if you'd like to tag us in any of your posts across the world of Facebook, tag it at The Simpsons Did It Pod. On Instagram, The Simpsons Did It Pod. Twitter, Simpsons Did It PC. And if you can check us out on YouTube to listen on all of our other older podcasts, make sure to subscribe, to search Simpsons Did It Podcast. You'll find it. Lately I've been on there just searching random things for The Simpsons, and our stuff is coming up naturally depending on your algorithms. So, I'm sure most of our listeners have followed it that way, but yes, like and subscribe so you know when all the new episodes hit. If you'd like to donate to our podcast, check us out on buymeacoffee.com/Simpsons Did It, and donate us a few duffs, because all your donations are going to go towards stickers and other fun merchandise. And then we'll mail you that merchandise when you donate.
Yes.
And there's more to come, so keep an eye out. Lastly, we have a phone number where all you fine folks can call in and leave us a voicemail, or anything else. Leave us fun quotes, things you like about our podcast, things you want to change, stuff like that. I know we accept a lot of forms of feedback. This is just another one for you guys. So call us at 612-584-0986 and leave us a voicemail. And if you haven't called, we do have a voice actor doing our voicemail. So even if you call just to listen to that, do that, because it's extremely funny and hilarious.
Yeah.
So until next time, I'm Steven Skolansky.
I'm your co-host, Robert Skolansky.
And this has been The Simpsons Did It.
Shh,